Hi, I'm Minal Patel, and today I'm going to be talking about what a random variable is and what are the two types of random variables. So before I explain to you what a random variable is, let me explain to you what a term variable means. So let's say, let's pick a simple equation. Let's say we have a is equal to 3b plus 1, and let's assign the value of b and let's see what value of a we're going to obtain. So let's say when b is equal to 1, we can get a as 3 into 1 plus 1, that's equal to 4. When b is equal to let's say 3, we can get a is equal to 3 into 3 plus 1, that's equal to 10, right? And we can keep substituting the value of b and we're going to get different values of a. So this concept where a varies when b changes is called as a variable, right? So a variable is something which basically changes under a given circumstance. So let me explain to you what a random variable is and where a random variable is used in probability. So let's say we have a random event, and let's say a random event is basically if it's going to rain today or not. Okay, so this is a simple random event, whether it's going to rain today or not, and let's assign two values, 1 and 0. Okay, so a random variable in probability is always represented through a capital letter, and it's usually x, right? Okay, and so we have two values, 1 and a 0. So 1, let's assign 1 if it rains, okay, and 0 if it does not rain. So what we can see that is that if it rains today, we assign the value 1, and if it does not rain, we assign the value 0. So essentially what a random variable does is it just maps a random event to a value, and that value is called as a random variable. So we have a random event which maps it to a random variable. Okay, that's essentially what a random variable means. So let me explain to you what the types of random variables are. The first one is the discrete random variable. Okay, so the term discrete actually means individual, right? The term discrete means individual. So again, let me explain to you what the term discrete random variable is through an example. Okay, so let's say we have a random event, a random event is, let's say, tossing of a fair die. Rolling of a fair die, sorry. Okay, and when you roll a fair die, we know that the possible values that we're going to achieve are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it could be any one of these numbers that are going to show up. And we know that when you toss a fair die, we know that we're not going to get values like 1.1, or not like 1.1 or 1.2 or 3.2 or 5.6 or whatever. You know that the value that's going to show up on the face of the die is either going to be one of these numbers, right? And that concept where you know that it's going to exist between a given range, between 1 to 6, and any number could show up only between 1 to 6 is called as a discrete random variable, right? It is a countable. It's essentially what discrete random variables are. They're countable, and it need not have to be finite, right? I could have hundreds of values, but that is going to exist only between those particular values, right? So now let me explain to you what the concept of let me explain to you what a continuous random variable is. So the continuous random variable is basically let me explain to you what continuous random variable is through an example. Okay, so let's say we have a random event, and let's say we need a random event is to find out the exact height of a randomly selected mango tree. Okay, mango tree in a tree farm. Okay, of a mango tree mango tree farm. Okay, now the term randomly selected and the term exact is very important, and I'll tell you why in some time. So and you know that the mango tree, in a mango tree could a height of a mango tree could vary, let's say from all the way from let's say 10 meters and all the way to a really tall mango tree, let's say that's 70 meters. And we randomly select a mango tree, and let's say it says its height is, let's say, 40 meters. Okay. And since we need to find out the exact height, we know that, and it's impossible to find out the exact height of a mango tree, because when you select tree at random, we know that it's going to exist between a particular range of values. So for example, I select a mango tree of height 40 meters, it's probably going to be around, let's say, 40.01 meters, okay, or 40.011 meters, okay, or even like, let's say, 40.02 meters. Like, it's never going to be exactly 40 meters, and it's always going to exist between a particular range of values. So this concept where the value of the mango, the value of the height of the mango tree is going to exist between two values is called as a continuous random variable. So a continuous random variable always exists between two values, and we know that between any two values that we have, let's say between 1 and 2, we know that the value, there could be infinitely many number of values, right, between 1 and 2, right? We have 1.1, 1.2, and it go all the way down to infinity. So this very concept of having a continuous value, or having values between the range of values, right, between the 40.01 and 40.011, is called as a continuous random variable, right? And a continuous random variable is always represented using a probability distribution curve. So I hope I have made myself clear on what a random variable is and what are the two types of random variables, that's discrete and continuous. Thank you so much.